In accordance with tradition at Southern Virginia University, we will begin with the word of prayer, which will be offered by Matt Roll. Father in heaven, we are grateful for this day, and we're grateful for the many blessings that we enjoy. We're grateful that we be gathered here tonight, and ask for thy Spirit to be with us, and that no harm or action will fall upon any of the players tonight. We're grateful again for all that thou hast given us and the opportunities thou hast blessed us with. And we say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Now, if you'd all please rise and face the flag and the playing of our nation's national anthem, performed by the Southern Virginia University Band.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Night Arena here on the campus of Southern Virginia University for tonight's NCAA Division III men's basketball matchup between the Hornets of Shenandoah University and your Southern Virginia University Knights. I'm Dawson Weeder, joined by Rock Giles for the home opener for the Knights. They start off the season, they've already played 2 games away from home, but should be a very, very exciting matchup today. Again, just this atmosphere. Basketball season is here. Couldn't be happier. How you doing, Rock?
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm very excited to see this this game. Both teams are doing very good, at least defensively and offensively. And, I think it'll be a great game, some great competition here. SVU's coming off a win, and they actually did really good last season. They made a lot of changes, and I think we're going to see that a lot this season as well.
Absolutely, and it should be a very physical game today when talking to Coach Adam Wardenberg, reporters this week, when it comes to this matchup. Coach Wardenberg said this is going to be a very physical game. Shenandoah plays very physical defense, and that shows in the amount of fouls they've committed so far this year. They have players averaging about 18 a game, and the roster's averaging about 18 or 16 fouls a game, and so they really are not afraid to get up in your face, really cause some trouble for you in your shots. But it should be very, very exciting to see how this young roster responds to that.
Absolutely. I love it when teams get physical. I think every coach loves it, but this time I will not be surprised to see somebody foul out this game on either side. Shenandoah's lead scorer actually has the most fouls on the team, Malik Jordan. So we're going to see him moving in, getting defensive and real physical on offense and defense. So it'll be awesome. It'll be interesting, real physical game like you were saying.
Absolutely, and like I mentioned, this being a very young roster composed of mostly freshmen and sophomores, and really interesting to see Coach Wardenberg tell them, hey, don't shy away from the physicality of the game. In fact, attack it. Go at it. If you try to shy away from the game's going to get away from you. You're going to let the game fall away, and the other team's going to take advantage, get a lot of free throw opportunities. And that's something you just cannot do today. And like you mentioned, both teams coming to this game having some success early on. Shenandoah with a 1-2 record so far. They're on a 1-game losing streak, and the Knights at a 1-1 record, and they actually won a double overtime game earlier, last week against Steele University with a score 89-85. So very physical game right there, and here is the tip-off for today. We got the starters for the Knights being Koa Baker, Sean Kennedy, Abe Connolly, and Kai Olson, as well as Jamarcus Robertson, J-Mac. J-Mac making his debut for Southern Virginia University. He's a player that when I watch the Knights practice, he has always impressed me with his court vision, his athletic ability, his ability to facilitate the offense, and I'm really excited to see what he does for the Southern Virginia Knights.
Yeah, you know, he really applies that practice how you play mentality, which you love to see as a coach. You know, that really is one of the marks of a great player.
And the tip goes to the Hornets of Shenandoah University. With the ball now, his leading scorer, Malik Jordan. You mentioned him, Rock. Very physical player, loves to drive to the rim. Also fantastic outside shooter. Here's the three. The foul on the shot called against Koa Baker. Taking the shot was number 11, Landon Russ, who takes more three-pointers than any other player on this Hornets roster. So he'll go to the line shooting 3 free throws.
You know, some early contact here in the game. You know, Koa Baker didn't seem too happy about that call, so I guess we'll see where that goes. If the refs are really leaning more towards calling more fouls and they call, you know, they're really sensitive towards that, or, you know, if they're going to be more lenient.
And he misses the first free throw, thankfully, for the Knights. And Rocky mentioned it. We were talking before the game how a lot of this comes down to how will the refs officiate this game? Will they let them play around a little bit? Will they let them be physical, or will they try to limit the amount of aggression and physicality that is shown on both teams? And so far with that foul, I can kind of agree with Koa. It was kind of a soft foul as he makes that second free throw. Here is the third. And that one's up and in, and the Hornets take a quick 2-0 lead, and they're going to go a full court press here. And they're going to abandon it once they got it inbounds to number 4, Sean Kennedy, who leads the Knights in scoring early in the season. And off to Baker. Pump fakes, dribbles in, goes up the left hand, no good, gets his own rebound, goes back up with the contact, no foul called, rebound by number 25, Benwi Bahai. Cross-court pass, trying to bring it baseline. Here's the shot, no good. It's going to be white ball. I believe they're going to call a foul on number 32, Connor Long. They're going to say that he pushed Kai Olsen. So the ball will go back to the Knights.
You know, a couple possessions on Shenandoah's side, and we've already seen them shoot some threes. So we just ran over the statistics here. They've already taken 64 threes this season in the last, 3 games, and they're shooting about 27% from the field, from the three-point line. And SVU shooting about the same with 52 overall three-pointers. So I'm not going to be surprised if we see a lot of three-pointers being taken this game.
Absolutely. I mean, it's the modern age of basketball where the three-point shot is the attractive shot, and Koa backing down his defender and getting the ball in the rim, ties it up at 2 points apiece. Already early on in the game, you feel the energy from the Knights faithful here in Knight Arena. Now with the ball is Davian Roberts. And the three is up. That one is good for Landon Russ. And like you mentioned, the amount of threes the Hornets have taken so far this year, you're going to see a lot of those attempts from Russ himself.
Yeah, he's shooting just under 32% from the three-point line, so a great shooter to have on your squad.
The shot no good from Kai Olsen. Here's Kennedy defending. That is going to rattle up and in. That's good from Malik Jordan. Good screen from Olsen. That's to be taken away by Russ. Robertson on the defense. And he's going to get called for a foul. That's an and one. Score from Malik Jordan. Knights got to be really careful here in the opening minutes to not let the Hornets get a quick early lead or a large lead to the point where they can't come back.
Yeah, it's still early in the game with your starters out here fouling. You really don't want to see that because you want them to play the rest of the game. In this, the crowd's really setting the tone as well. The more tense things get, we'll probably end up seeing more fouls. And so later in the game, we're going to be seeing a lot of fouls too, I'm sure.
Absolutely, as Connolly gets that rebound. Southern Virginia with the ball, down by 7. Here's J-Mac. Conley for three. That one's up, no good. Rebounded by Baker. Baker up, no good. Gets his own rebound again. Stripped away from him. He's trying to get it back out. Robertson gets it back to Baker, and he gets it up and in. And you know, one way that I described Koa Baker, we were talking earlier, Rock, is Koa is one of those hustle players. He can shoot from the outside. He can do all those fancy things. But all in all, he is a hustler, and he leads his team in rebounds for a reason because he fights in the paint for every single one. So the ball was tipped, goes up in the air, and scrapes the ceiling, and as a rule, being a shorter ceiling for an arena, it stays with Shenandoah, and they're just going to inbound it from the sideline. 16 seconds on the shot clock. J-Mac on defense. Finally grabbed by Kennedy. Kennedy driving the lane, up with the left hand, up and in, even though he had Malik Jordan draped all over him. Knights bring it within three.
That was a great read right there. He saw the lane and took it. Great job by Sean Kennedy to see that.
And not only to see that, but also finish that shot. That shot up and in for number 10, Matt Simmons. Kennedy trying to take it with the left hand. Here's Kai Olsen. One-on-one in the paint. And that's and one for Kai Olsen. Kai Olsen, one of the leaders of this team, the one who's been with this team the longest on the roster. He's one of those players that when you watch him play, whether he's taking a shot or playing defense, the game seems to go in slow motion around him. He's really patient. He really does a great job of establishing his shots. And just like that, he's really strong with his shots too, able to get that one up and in.
Confidence is a big part of the game, and it seems like he definitely has it going for him.
He absolutely does. I mean, again, being one of the leaders on this team for the past couple of years, he's always been a very consistent guy you can rely on, both offensively and defensively. So here's Kai Olsen at the line for the end one. Free throws up, off the right side, no good. Rebounded by Matt Simmons. Knights still down by 3. Kick back to the outside, the shot is up. That is no good. Rebounded by Robertson. Robertson driving the lane, kicks it out to Baker. Pump fakes. The Knights have to reset their offense. Here's Robertson for 3. That's up and in. Ties it up at 11. I mean, I was saying at the beginning of the game, there are so many things that J-Mac Robertson can do. He's able to pass the ball effectively, sees the court very well, very athletic, and I failed to mention, also pretty good shot too.
Oh, yeah.
Knight's doing a great job with the zone defense. And that's going to go out of bounds off the hands of number 24, Gavin Biziak. So a timeout will be called here. Immediate timeout, tied at 11 apiece between the Hornets and the Knights. So far, it's every bit as physical as we expected it to be going into this one. A lot of great defense being played and a lot of tough shots and decent amount of fouls to boot.
Well, yeah, you love to see that intensity. You know, both teams are playing some pretty hard defense. It's really coming down to a rebounding game as well as what it seems like. You know, the teams are both pretty good shots, but I think what's going to really break this down is being able to grab that ball after it hits the rim and, you know, take that for the team.
Absolutely. So far, leading the charge scoring-wise for the Hornets is Landon Russ with 5 points. He has the 1 3-pointer and the 2 free throws earlier on, as well as Malik Jordan with 4 points. Simmons chiming in with 2 as well. And for Southern Virginia University, leaders in points, Koa Baker with 4, Jamarcus Robertson with a 3 that he just made a little moment ago that tied it back up, Kai Olsen with 2, and Sean Kennedy with 2. And no surprise here, Koa Baker leading everyone on both rosters in rebounds with 3 individually. And again, coming into this game with the amount of rebounds that he's had so far, not a big surprise. So it'll be night basketball after that timeout. We'll get to see Dane Ibsen in the game for the first time, along with number 12, Sam Jex. Another 2 players that Coach Wardenberg was very excited about. I believe they're going to call a foul on the ground or on the floor. It'll stay with the Knights. And I mentioned players that Coach Wardenberg was excited about. When I talked to Coach Wardenberg at the beginning of the year, during all the preseason workouts and practices, he told me that this is one of the most talented rosters he's had since being here at Southern Virginia University, and he was very, very excited. In fact, one of the things he said was, life is good right now. Life is very good right now, and when you have that confidence in your roster, there's going to be good things that happen. That is a jump ball, so it'll stay with Southern Virginia.
You know, we're seeing a lot of that young talent right now, you know, like you were saying. You know, this is a fresh team. We're talking about how this is such a young team. You know, a lot of these players are coming from different parts of the United States. And, you know, I think that's the mark of a great player, is just anybody that's willing to play, that wants to play and will, you know, make that happen. Even if that involves moving states. And I think that's part of the reason why they're so great, is because they want to play. They came to play and they came to win.
Absolutely, and you could tell that desire to win in J-Mac was there as he gets that basket to take the lead for the Knights. Here's the corner 3. That is up. No good. Attempted by number 15, Richard Rogers. And they're going to call travel there on number 31, Kendrick Robinson, the sophomore from Fredericksburg, Virginia. And these 2 teams have had a history of having tightly contested games. Last year, this contest was decided by 12 points, which seems like quite a lot, but if you really look at a basketball game, 12 points is not a whole lot at all. You can make that up in the blink of an eye. It's a very tightly contested game. That one was last season. Here's Kennedy. Here's Kai Olsen. Goes up and in, weaving between defenders while he's in the air.
You know, it can be easy to get discouraged as a team. You know, earlier in the game we saw the score go 9-2 with Shenandoah in the lead, but now SVU's leading 15-11. And I think it goes as one of those things. Spike Lee, the director, once said, sports is great because it can't be written. And that's absolutely true.
It absolutely is, and the ball will stay with Shenandoah. You're absolutely right. I mean, things can switch in sports in a blink of an eye, right? That's why, as an athlete, one of the most important things you can learn is how to not get discouraged and just put your head down and keep working at it. And of course, you can expect the same type of response from Shenandoah throughout this game as they inbound it. There's 11 seconds left on the shot clock. 5 seconds. They have to get a shot up. Here's Russ. That shot is up and banks it in for 3. Sometimes in sports, it's better to be lucky than good, but that time I think Landon Russ was both.
Yeah. Oh, I think you said it.
I mean, Russ has made plenty enough threes already in the season to show us that he has that capability. Here's Olsen. Shot is up. Baker with the rebound. Up with the left hand. No good. Rebounded by 2 Hornets. Russ now with 8 points in the game. 2 of them being threes, or 2 shots being threes. I believe they're going to say that Sam Jex touched it as he was standing out of bounds. On the attempted rebound was number 0, Davion Roberts. Hornets inbound. They're going to call an illegal screen on Malik Jordan. And that is his second foul as he is subbed out. That was another thing we talked about, Rock, was before the game, Malik Jordan, although he also leads this team in points, he as well leads them in fouls committed. Because he's, again, very physical defender, and so that could become a problem for the Shenandoah roster down the stretch. There's Robertson up with the right hand, no good. Also in the game for the first time for the Knights is Tyler Karchner. Great catch in the corner. Great cut to the basket. Blocked, but they're going to say it was a foul. They're going to say that Dane Ibsen got Matt Simmons on the elbow. And so that'll put Matt Simmons on the free throw line. Chance to tie it up or take the lead. First free throws up and in, ties it up at 15. Got some more substitutions. Sean Kennedy coming in for J-Mac, and Abe Connolly coming in for Sam Jex.
You know, free throws are really going to make a big difference, especially with how physical both teams are playing. You know, if we look at the top scorer for Shenandoah, 7 out of his 19 points per game come from free throws.
That's absolutely right. That's the thing that this team really banks on. And if you're an aggressive team, if you're a physical team, that means you drive to the basket trying to draw the foul. And so far, the Hornets have been doing a decent job at that. That rebounded by Koa Baker. There's Connolly in the corner. Karchner up and in. Beautiful pass from Abe Connolly from the corner. Knights doing a great job swarming to Russ on the perimeter. In the paint. Karchner gets the block. Karchner's got it. Gets up to Baker. Great sequencing. Baker gets to Karchner. Gets it down to Connolly, who kicks it out to Ibsen for 3. That's up and in.
Great offensive play. If we break that down, they pass the ball maybe 4 or 5 times, which is so important. That ball movement, find the open man, get the open shot, and make it.
There's Russ for 3. That one no good. Rebounded by Baker. And again, that last offensive possession for Southern Virginia is one of the cleaner possessions you will see from an offense at this level of basketball. Here's Karchner. That's up. No good, but he gets fouled. I mean, Karchner coming in, making an immediate impact. Doing a great job of getting a basket, facilitating an offense. Some great passes.
Yeah, for the short amount of time that he's been in so far, he's made a tremendous impact, like you were saying. You know, he came in and wanted to be a part of the game and made it happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wonderful.
Getting involved, rebounding, scoring. And right now the Knights leading by 5 with a score 20-15. And while we're in this time on break, I want to remind you you're watching this on the Knights Broadcasting YouTube channel. Be sure to give us a like, subscribe. Be sure to click the notification bell that we get notified every single time a Southern Virginia University athletics event goes live. And be sure to leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. What things can we improve? What things did you like? We'd also like to take this time to thank our official athletics partners, Straws Drinks and Eats here in Buena Vista, Virginia. I myself have gone to Straws a number of times here in town, and let me tell you, if you need a good soda with some good flavor added to it, Straws is the place to go. We thank Straws for their partnership with Southern Virginia University. Man, I would love to have a Straws drink right now here courtside. I mean, this is quite the entertainment we're getting tonight. Great basketball being played. I tell you what, there's a lot of statistics to go over in this game so far, but the statistic that stands out to me the most is Koa Baker with 6 rebounds. No one else even comes close to him right now. And again, we mentioned it before, and I'll say it again because it needs to be said whenever it comes up. That's due to hustle. That's due to work ethic, getting down in the paint, fighting for every rebound, and that is something that you can try to learn, but it's an instinct that you don't necessarily teach, right? That's just a knack for getting to the ball and working hard and fighting for every possession.
Yeah, you know, players like that, it's not surprising to see them get double-doubles and sometimes triple-doubles, you know, and I think we're going to see one from Koa, you know, in this game. You know, I think it's a very real possibility to get a double-double or triple-double, especially where he's at and how hard he works.
Absolutely. He is averaging a double-double with 15.5 points and 13 rebounds per game so far. That free throw is up and in for Karchner. And it's one of those things that as a coach, of course you'd love to have a player average about 30 points a game, but if you have a player averaging a double-double, you love that even more because it's multifaceted. It gives you plenty more opportunities to win rather than just scoring.
Absolutely.
Shot clock going down. They're going to call a foul on the far side. They're going to call that on Baker, the freshman from Eagle Mountain, Utah. That's Baker's second foul. And both fouls for Baker have been kind of debatable at this point.
Oh, absolutely. They could have gone either way for sure, and he definitely knows it. I think their team knows it. They just got to try to be more careful.
First free throw up and in for Davion Roberts. J-Mac Robertson will come in for Koa Baker. And again, I mentioned the work ethic and the rebounding. That's a player that you don't want to have in foul trouble down the stretch. Here's a second free throw. That one's up and in. Here's Kennedy. And that is knocked out of his hand by Matt Simmons. It'll stay with Southern Virginia. Made the young player mistake of dribbling into sort of a trap, trying to pass it to the person you're dribbling towards. That's a very easy play to defend. There's a good cut to the basket from Connolly that Karchner just did not see. Can he pass it to Connolly, who is fouled? That is by number 25, Benwi Bahai. So that'll send Connolly to the line.
You know, we're seeing it time and time again. That ball movement is awesome to watch. It's great to see as a coach. And it's like even if they don't, you know, get those points on that shot, they're going to get the free throws, you know, because they drive in and they're aggressive and they know what they want. And that's what we're seeing right now from SVU.
Connolly's first free throw is no good, and you talk about that passing game and how the offense is functioning. And a lot of that, in fact, most of that is due to the off-ball movement from Southern Virginia's offense. That's one thing that Coach Wardenberg talks about constantly at practice. Move, set screens, cut to the basket. You got to constantly be moving, never just settle and stand somewhere. In fact, every time a player stands during an offensive drill, Coach Wardenberg gets a little irritated, to say the least.
Understandably.
Again, the Knights done a great job swarming to the ball on this zone defense. Connolly gets the block. It's going to go out of bounds, stay with the Hornets, but they only have 9 seconds left in the shot clock. You got to look out for Landon Russ in this near side for three. Cut to the basket. That is up, no good. Finally brought down by Robertson. Kennedy on the perimeter. Here's Connolly for three. That's up and in. Knights take an 8-point lead. And that one's tipped out of bounds by Kennedy. And it's always fun as a commentator to get a little involved in the game, huh?
Oh, I was ready. I had my hands up and everything.
We're ready to take a deep three from here as a timeout is called by Shenandoah. The Knights on a roll right now, leading 25-17, feeling all sorts of confident, feeling all sorts of momentum right now. again, we mentioned the ball movement. We mentioned the defensive physicality. I mean, right now, Southern Virginia has a lot of things working for them. They've also done a great job at shutting down Landon Russ since the last time that he scored. He still stands at 8 points.
You know, we talk a lot about that ball movement, and if we look at the stats, you know, Shenandoah has 2 assists and SVU has 6. You know, and if we compare that to the points as well, you know, it's a passing game right now. It really is. You know, the more passes you get, the more points you get, because you know you're going to find more of an open guy. It opens the door for opportunity, really.
It absolutely does. I mean, when you're able to facilitate an offense that gets good passing game, I always go back to the phrase Spurs basketball back in 2014, 2015. If you're able to get an offense where you're barely taking any kind of dribbles, that's the kind of offense that'll make a coach's day. You know, coaches love to see that. I mean, sure, if you can dribble and do some fancy footwork between the legs and all that, that's all well and good. Shows you have talent. But if you're able to pass the ball around, maybe take 1 or 2 dribbles in an entire possession, they'll take that every single time. Shenandoah will inbound it. Davion Roberts will be doing that. Just under 9.5 minutes left remaining in this first half. What an acrobatic shot from Roberts, putting up behind his head while defended by Kai Olsen. Kai Olsen checked into the game before the timeout. That's batted away and taken away by the Hornets. They're going to call a foul on Connolly. He jumped over Roberts on the shot. The Knights bench wanted a travel called on Roberts as he took a jump stop before the shot, trying to let the defenders clear past him. He will go to the line and shoot 2.
You know, as fast as these guys are playing, it's really hard to make a wrong call. So you got to give it to the refs, even if they're wrong. You know, they're really out there trying hard.
They've done a great job so far in tonight's contest, again, with it being a physical game and how fast both these teams like to play. Just doing fantastic work. Knights with it. Trying to set up Kai Olsen in the paint. That's batted and taken away by the Hornets once again. The Knights struggling to set something up offensively since the timeout. Here's Russ. That 3 up, no good. And that was grabbed by Simmons, and that's up and in for the Hornets. Timeout for Southern Virginia University. The coach is not liking what they're seeing after that timeout. To me, it seems like things sort of slowed down in a negative way for the Knights offensively. The Knights not getting as good off-ball movement as they had before the timeout. And, of course, Shenandoah doing a great job of getting in the passing lanes in the past couple possessions.
I think you're right. You know, I think they got a little too comfortable with their lead. You know, they had an 8-point lead. Now it's a 1-point game. You know, you can't let that happen as a team. You gotta keep going hard 100% all the time.
Absolutely, especially against a team like Shenandoah that can play both physically and hurt you from the outside. You just can never let up in those types of situations.
Absolutely.
Once again, just over 8 minutes left to go in this first half, and it has delivered in every way, shape, and form. We've seen pretty much everything. I think the only thing that we're missing right now is a slam dunk. You know, I'd like to see a slam dunk, but of course, beggars can't be choosers.
Oh, there's a lot of potential for that in this game, I think. You know, we were watching the players warming up. We actually saw a windmill dunk, you know, by one of the SVU players. I really hope we get to see that as well.
Either way, though, we're getting to see really great basketball so far tonight. I mean, both teams playing at a very high, efficient level. I mean, turnovers for an early game in the season, I feel like turnovers have been pretty limited. Both teams only have 3 turnovers apiece, which you love to just see a nice, clean played game where teams just take care of the ball and the possession changes with either a score or a rebound. You love to see that kind of thing. During the timeout, Koa Baker checked back in for Southern Virginia. Again, he has 2 fouls in this half. But again, when he's in the game, things just feel different for Southern Virginia. Again, the hustle plays. I'm going to mention it every single time he's on the floor. And the Knights offensively have been forced to be way beyond the three-point line due to the on-ball pressure. They're going to call foul number 24, Gavin Biziak. And he's going to send Koa Baker to the free throw line. And that is Biziak's first foul of the game. It's a 1-and-1. That is up and in for Baker. The Knights are now 3 of 6 from the line, sitting at an even 50%. Second free throw is up and in. Open, no good. Got a little ahead of myself there on that free throw. So now the Knights are 3 of 7. And the paint. And that's going to be a foul on Southern Virginia as number 25, Binwi Bahai, was able to get the score.
Yeah, Shenandoah could possibly take the lead back right here.
Indeed they can. We're seeing some good production lately from Bahai. Bahai, the sophomore from Frederick, Maryland. His size and athleticism has been making him a real threat in the paint against Southern Virginia's defense. That free throw up, no good, rebounded by Connolly. So it stays a tie game at 26. Here's Olsen uncovered, up, no good. Gets his own rebound. Tries to get it to Connolly, it's batted away. But it's gonna be out of bounds on Connolly. I mean, Kai was wide open on that shot, and that's something you won't see very often, is him missing a shot like that.
You know, I think as a player with how intense this game is, you know, they're trying to hurry, they're trying to rush how they're playing. I think that's messing up their execution a little bit as well.
Absolutely, there's a big difference between rushing your offense and playing fast, right? And they played fast in that run where they were able to get up by 8 points. But now they've been rushing themselves a bit because, again, Shenandoah's defense has done a great job at pushing the point guards further down the court than they have been most of this half so far. And it makes it to where the space between passes is that much longer, and there's more room for error. Olsen is tripped up. They're going to call the foul number 24, Gavin Biziak. Gets his second foul, and Tyler Karchner was checking in. He'll be checking in for Kai Olsen. Also checking in for the Hornets is number 15, Richard Rogers, the freshman from Leesburg, Virginia.
Good job, Sammy.
Another substitution as well. J. Mac Robertson will come in for Sam Jex for SVU. One-on-one free throws for Olsen. First one is up and in. The Knights take back the lead.
Good shooter. Good shooter here.
A little fun fact about Malachi Olsen is that he is married to Courtney Olsen on the Southern Virginia women's basketball team.
Here we go.
It's a cool dynamic they have as a couple. Being able to practice and play with your spouses, that's a pretty cool thing.
It absolutely is. I mean, it just gets the whole family involved, you know. It's just a very, very fun family affair. it makes it to where their son KJ is in a basketball gym most of the day, which, I mean, as a fan of basketball, I have no problem with that. A kid being raised in the gym, love that. Love to see it. Shot from the outside. That's up and in for Rogers, who just checked in. And the Hornets take a 1-point lead. There's Cole Baker coming inside with left hand, no good. Brought down initially by Karchner, but recovered by the Hornets. That's going to be up and in for number 10, Matt Simmons.
That's some good defense. I think it was just a little better offense on that play.
I mean, Simmons is doing a great magician act, keeping the ball away from the defenders. The shot up, no good. Knocked out of bounds by the Hornets. I believe that was knocked out by number 31, Kendrick Robinson. Kennedy at the top of the key. Was up with the right hand, up and in, what a shot. We haven't seen a whole lot of scoring from Kennedy. He leads the team overall, or one of the leaders in scoring. That's gonna rattle out, rebounded by Connolly. The Knights down by 1. We also see that Shenandoah has changed their defense a little bit. They have 2 defenders up top, and that's going to be up and in for Karchner. Great pass from Connolly. I think a lot of the most impressive passing plays we've seen from the Southern Virginia offense have been between Karchner and Connolly. They have really good chemistry, especially along that baseline.
Yeah, which is saying a lot because this team passes a lot.
And that 3 is good for number 25, Benwi Bahai. Kennedy wanted the shot. Here's Robertson. They're gonna call a block. Block is called against Davion Roberts. And with that last 3, Benwi Bahai joins the top 4 in scoring for the Hornets with 7. He is tied with Davion Roberts for second on the team. Checking in for the Knights, number 32, Dane Ibsen, the senior from Provo, Utah. And out comes Abe Connolly. The last foul will send Robertson to the line as the Knights are in the bonus. That free throw's no good. I believe they're gonna call an over the back on Karchner. Actually gonna say that he pushed on the rebound. Karchner doesn't necessarily agree, but rarely does a player agree with a foul that's called on them.
I think that's very true. I think it's easy to get upset about a call on you, even if it's true. We see it all the time in the NBA.
I think during my playing career in high school, I think maybe I agreed with one call against me out of all of them that were called. And to the free throw line right now is number 31, Kendrick Robinson. That free throw up, no good. Rebounded by Ibsen. Knights down by 2. 4 minutes left in the half. The Hornets are trying to lull Kennedy into a zone trap at the top of the key. Here's Baker. Kennedy on the outside. That's up and in for 3. So the Knights doing a good job of adjusting and finding those passing lanes. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. They're going to call a foul. They're going to call it on J-Mac. That's his second foul. And Kai Olsen will check in for the Knights as a timeout is called. Knights leading by 1 pending the free throws. It is indeed a media timeout. And real quick, once again, we want to thank you for tuning in to this broadcast on the Knights Broadcasting YouTube channel. Be sure to give us a like, subscribe, comment down below, and let us know how we are doing and how we can improve. And also be sure to click that notification bell on YouTube so that you're notified every time an SVU athletic activity is broadcasted here on the channel. We thank you so much for your support. I want to give a shout out to our producers, our cameramen and women, all those who make this broadcast possible. We appreciate you. Yeah, right now, I think the biggest difference with Shenandoah is the fact that they've changed with their defense. I mentioned the fact they have 3 defenders up top that create sort of an open space at the top of the key. They try to lull the point guard into going ahead forward, and they're going to trap them right there and try to take it away at the top of the key, which, of course, Kennedy's trying to make sure to not fall into that trap. But at the same time, the defenders are backed up far enough to where they can easily get away some passing lanes.
Yeah, you know, a big thing with sports is it's 90% mental and 10% physical. You know, this team hypothetically could be, you know, great players, very skilled and you know, and all that, the whole package. But if they can't read and adjust, that's not going to make a difference with, you know, how they play if they keep losing. So, you know, when they come out and they adjust their defense and they learn to read the offense a little bit better, it's going to make a big difference.
Absolutely, and so Southern Virginia's job is to adjust that new defensive look and to try to make things frustrating for them. And Southern Virginia's kind of changed some things up too. They've done a little bit of a 3/4 court press on the Hornets in the later minutes of this first half, as the first free throw from Matt Simmons will be attempted. Free throws up and in, ties it up at 35. Second free throw up and rattles in. Simmons now has 7 points. Ties 2 other players in this roster for second in scoring in this game. Shot clock on the Knights basket is out. We'll take a brief timeout to make sure that that is functioning. And there it is back on. They're gonna have to get it readjusted, recalibrated.
There we go, some technical difficulties.
Hey, it's an extra timeout. You know, an extra time
man.
Sit down, discuss what you're gonna do, and how you can get your offense flowing again like it was earlier in the half when you went on a run and had an 8-point lead if you're Southern Virginia.
Yeah, it's always good to take a step back and reassess how you're playing and just kind of review what you're doing. So I'm sure either team isn't too mad about the extra timeout.
Yeah, absolutely not. They're definitely not upset about that. Let's go over some statistics really fast. Shenandoah's leading in points is still Landon Russ. I mentioned before that Southern Virginia's done a great job at keying on him ever since the early minutes, and he hasn't really been able to get much of a shot off since he got his 8th point. And of course, tied for second is 3 different players in this roster with 7 points apiece, with Davion Roberts, Benway Bahai, and Matt Simmons. And one thing that's impressed me so far about the Shenandoah roster is that when one player stops scoring, another player steps up. We've seen that throughout this entire game. We've seen, you know, runs with Benway Bahai, where he had a couple of baskets down in the paint and 1 3-pointer. Same thing with Matt Simmons. And you love as a coach to see your roster be able to have players that can, it's like a next man up mentality. Not so much about, you know, being injured, it's so much about the other team keying in on another player. Who else can we turn to?
Absolutely. Very important to have, you know, those secondary players kind of come in and fill their role.
A 3/4 court press for Shenandoah is broken easily by the Knights. Short shot clock, kicked out. Here's Ibsen. He gets knocked away. Here's Simmons with it, going up against Robertson. Up, no good. And they're going to call a foul on Robertson. I cannot believe it. That's going to be Robertson's third foul. I personally have a hard time believing that that one was a foul, as Robertson came by quickly, and it looked like Simmons just simply missed the layup. But instead, he'll go to the line.
Yeah, you know, we were talking about it earlier in the game. Are the refs going to be more lenient, or are they going to be calling, you know, everything that they think is a foul, whether they see it or not? And I think we're kind of noticing what's going on right now. You know, they are trying their best, though. You got to give it to them, but sometimes it can be rough as a player to be going through that.
Absolutely, as Simmons makes the first free throw. Second one is up. No good. Rebound by Ibsen. The Knights now down by 2. Pass ahead to Baker. Again, Shenandoah in a 3-2 press, or 3-2 zone, I should say. Wild pass. Connolly's able to get it. 5 seconds of the shot clock. That is good for Kennedy. And a timeout called by Simmons. Some great on-ball defense from Sean Kennedy. Kennedy with that last 3 now has 10 points in the game. He is the first player to reach double digits in scoring. Like we mentioned how earlier in the half, we didn't see a whole lot of scoring action from Kennedy, but real quickly, he got very involved very fast and now leads both teams in scoring.
Yeah, not wasting any time to get something started.
And I love the fact that it's been all over the floor. He's been able to get points, able to drive the lane, able to shoot from the outside. And that also takes back the lead for the Knights. It's been a nice back and forth in the later minutes of this first half. Just under 2 minutes left to go in the half.
I think a big part of this game, and really, you know, any game, is going to be who has the energy to last the entire game. You know, I've seen teams that lose a 10-point lead because they get tired in the last half. You know, so I think that'll be a big part of the second half as well.
Absolutely, with how physical both these teams play, who allows the fatigue to set in first? Knocked away by Kai Olsen. Here's Baker. As we have foul on the Hornets. They're going to call it on Simmons as Kai Olsen was trying to post up on him. That is now 10 fouls committed by the Hornets, 9 on the Knights respectively. So Olsen will go to the line and shoot 2. Both teams in the double bonus. First free throw's up and in. Checking in for the Hornets is number 15, Richard Rogers. He will come in for number 23, Marcus Taylor. Second free throw for Olsen. That one's up and in. Baker almost comes away with the steal.
It pressure's on the last few minutes of the half.
Got to finish a half strong. Here's the jump shot. That is up and in for Simmons. Simmons now with 10 points himself. Both him and Sean Kennedy are tied. Kennedy for the jump shot. That one's up and in. They weren't tied for long. .31 seconds left in the half. And Russ kicks out. And they're going to say that number 15, Richard Rogers, had a foot out of bounds. So ball goes back to Southern Virginia, no shot clock. So you know Shenandoah is going to come out with all the pressure that they can muster.
We'll see if SVU can hold on and try to get that last shot going.
Not yet. Not yet.
They want to definitely hold off until the last possible moment. Puts it in the paint to Kai Olsen, up and in with 8 seconds left. Simmons gives it to Russ, up. They're going to say that it counts. That was very close.
Definitely a close call.
I mean, if we had the option to review that, I think that'd be a very interesting conversation to be had. But regardless, it stands at a 2-point game at the end of the first half of so many highlights. Such great basketball being played. Knights leading 44-42. Before we take a quick break, once again thank our sponsors for today's event, Straws Drinks and Eats from Buena Vista, Virginia. Again, I've gone there several times. Great drinks. I can't recommend them enough. To do a fantastic job. If you're in Buena Vista, go check them out today. And Straws Drinks and Eats, we appreciate your support. And with that, we'll take a short break for the start of the second half. We'll be right back.
I'd like to recognize Straws Drinks and Eats for being our proud sponsor of Knights Athletics. Shortly, Knights fans and World Life Fan will have a chance to win $5 gift cards. Straws Drinks and Eats. Stand by. All right, Night fans, make some noise. Time to play a game of Simon Says to win the $5 gift card. The 6 lucky contestants who wants to play, Simon Says. Right here, one contestant. 3 more, we need 5 more. We need 4 more contestants. Simon Says, 4 more. You come on out, come on. 3 more people. All right, Simon says, blink your right eye. Blink your right eye. Good job, good job, good job. All right, Simon says, do squats, air squats. Do some air squats. Good job, good job. All right, go ahead and stop. Simon says do twirls. Spin around, 360. Good job, good job. All right, Simon says stop. Simon says move your left arm up and down, up and down. All right, now your right arm. Oh, good job, good job. All right, Simon says, let's see here, do push-ups. Simon says do push-ups. All right, good job, good job. All right, Simon says go ahead and stand up, stand up. All right. Wow, you guys are lasting a long time. All right. Simon says hop on your left foot. Hop on your left foot. All right. Simon says hop on your right foot. Simon says at the same time move your left arm up and down. All right. Good. Stop. Hey, you guys are too good at this. All right. Simon says do more jumping jacks. Do more jumping jacks. Simon says clap your hands. Clap your hands. Good job. Clap your hands behind your back. All right. Simon says do more twirls. 360. All right. Simon says hop on your left foot. Hop on your left foot. Simon says hop on your right foot. Simon says pat your head at the same time. All right, stop patting your head. All right. All right, stop. Ooh, that was close. That was close. All right. Simon says hop on your left foot again. All right. Simon says touch your toes. Simon says stand up. Touch your toes. Simon says touch your toes. All right, Simon says stand back up. Now, lay your back. Simon says do more jumping jacks. All right, Simon says twirl around, twirl around. I'm running out of things to say. Simon says high five each other. Good job, good job. All right, Simon says link arms together. Simon says link arms together. All right, Simon says twirl around. All right, stop twirling. Simon says stop linking arms. All right, spread back out. No, you can get twirling, that's fine. No, I got him, he's out! Yes! All right, two more people.
Gabby.
All right, we got Abby and Gabby in the final round. Here we go, here we go. All right, Simon says start hopping, hopping. Up and down, up and down. All right, Simon says hop on your left foot. All right, back on your right foot. Good job. Simon says left hand, wave it. Simon says right arm, wave it. Simon says twirl around while hopping. All right, stop twirling. All right, Simon says stop twirling. Both hands up and down. I even forgot to say Simon says. I figured myself out. Simon says do more jumping jacks. All right, Simon says move forward. Let's keep doing it. Move forward. Oh, she just had weights. She's getting another workout in. All right, Simon says hop on your left foot. Simon says hop on your right foot. Simon says pat your head. All right, stop patting your head. Simon says stop patting your head. Simon says twirl around while still hopping on your right foot. Simon says go back to doing push-ups. Simon says come back up. Go back down. Simon says go back down. Simon says come back up. Simon says 360. Simon 360. They're both out! What's happening? There's not a winner! Just kidding, we'll keep going. Simon says twirl around. Sorry, Simon says stop. Simon says look at the scoreboard. Simon says look at the American flag. Look back at the crowd. Simon says look back at the student crowd. Simon says look to your left. Look up. Simon says look up. Simon says look down. Simon says look to your right. Simon says touch your toes. Stand back up. She's back! She's back! She's back!
Abby.
All right, our winner is Abby. Congratulations. Thank you. All right, we'd like to thank Strauss Juices for sponsoring our athletic trivia game and the Strauss Reward Games every night. Thank you.
And we're back for the start of the second half between the Hornets of Shenandoah University and your Southern Virginia University Knights. We had quite a hotly contested first half, but not compared to the intense competition of Simon Says that we had here on the court here at Knight Arena.
I think that the entire crowd was locked in. We had two girls, Abby and Gabby, going at it, and they just would not let up.
Yeah, a chance to win a $5 gift card at Straw's Drinks and Eats, which is the sponsor for today's game. It was a very fun activity to watch. But of course, the reason we're here, the game. The first half was highly contested. Of course, you see the score is only separated by 2 points, thanks to the last second three in the first half from Landon Russ, who leads the Hornets in scoring with 11 points. But, Rock, we were talking about some from stats in the first half. What were something that stood out to you?
Oh, absolutely. I think the fact that SVU hasn't taken as many three-pointers but have made the same, each team has made 5 three-pointers. SVU from the three-point line is shooting 71%, and Shenandoah is shooting at 45%. And that was kind of a big difference that I noticed when we were checking out the stats. And another big stat that kind of stood out was the number of rebounds that both teams had, right? Shenandoah has 9, SVU has 17. And that they're really just fighting for the ball. They're really scrappy. Specifically, Koa Baker's really grinding over there in the post, and it's making a big difference for the offense, keeping them really, really good in this game. Keeping them up strong.
Absolutely, and giving them those second chance opportunities. A lot of those for Koa Baker being offensive rebounds, and he's one of the leaders in rebounds and statistics for the Knights for a reason. Again, we talk about the hard work, the hard effort of getting in the paint, and the fact that, again, the Knights just making those hustle plays. That's the reason why they're up by 2 points right now, but Shenandoah not far behind, like you said. They're shooting quite a bit of threes, but they're getting a lot of great quality shots, getting to the basket, drawing fouls, forcing Koa Baker, who although leads team in rebounds, is also in sort of foul trouble. Same thing with Jamarcus Robertson with 3 fouls. And so they're doing a great job being aggressive, getting to the line, and that's one thing that's really kept them in this game.
Absolutely. It's a dangerous spot.
And so they're starting here in the second half at Knight Arena. We want to once again remind you that you're watching this on the Knights Broadcasting YouTube channel. Be sure to give us a like, subscribe, comment, let us know how we're doing, and click that notification bell so you get notified every single time we go live with a Southern Virginia University athletic event. And I believe that the Hornets will start off with the ball. Indeed, they will. Again, the Hornets down by 2, and it was a last-second three that brought them within 2 points from Landon Russ. It was very close. If we had instant replay, again, I mentioned before the end of the half, we would have had a very interesting review session for that shot, as it looked like maybe that his fingertips were still in the ball when the shot went off, but it was hard to tell. But regardless, those points counted. I'm interested to see what defensive adjustments the Knights made during halftime to try to limit Russ and Simmons, who Simmons got a little hot in the middle of the first half, scoring-wise. Here's a shot. Oh, no good. Rebounded by Kai Olsen. That shot missed by Davion Roberts. Kennedy gets it into Kai Olsen. Bounces off his foot. And it's going to go back to the Hornets. Some great on-ball defense there from Connor Long. Really causing some issues for Kai Olsen. With the ball now is Malik Jordan. Here's a shot by Russ. That is up and in. The mid-range is good. Ties it up at 44.
Each player on SVU is a very dangerous scorer. So really anybody with the ball, you really got to tighten up against.
Kai Olsen misses that shot, rebounded by Long once again. Carly with the block. Here's Robertson going up strong, up and in. What a sequence for the Knights.
Some fast playmaking, make a play and then play off that one. Some great momentum for SVU.
And a great job of looking down the floor on part of Kennedy, seeing J-Mac down the floor. Here's Kennedy once again with it. He's got Koa. Here's Kennedy in the paint. Easy layup. That's easy money right there for Sean Kennedy. He now has 14 points in this game.
Right there. 5.
Now we're seeing a lot of energy from SVU, but the question is, we were talking about this earlier, can they keep that up for the last few minutes of the game?
Maintaining that energy absolutely is one of the key things. Koa Baker with the rebound. Here's J-Mac going in the paint. Then a call, a block on Long. Stays with Southern Virginia. That is Long's second foul of the game. And that'll send Robertson to the line. Actually going to say it's under the basket, as they're going to say that the block was before the shot, which I think is the right call.
Yeah, a lot of these calls I think could go either way. It just depends on the angle that they got, what they're seeing from their point of view.
Here's Koa Baker in the paint, making a move. That is no good. Rebounded by the Hornets. And they're going to call a foul on Kennedy. And that's Kennedy's first foul.
Come on, fellas. Hey, don't let him touch it. 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 Let's go.
Solid on-ball defense from Robertson. Here's a jump shot. Up, no good. Rebounded by Baker. No surprise there. Here's the three from Connolly, and that's good. The Knights keep up their fantastic three-point shooting percentage in today's game.
And he's a freshman, but he looks like he's been shooting forever.
That's one of the things about Connolly, is the fact that he's got such great length to him, and so he's able to play in the post, but also is able to get shots off on the outside and just has such a smooth release.
Sean, be solid. Come on.
The Knights are now 6 of 8 from beyond the arc. That is...
It's ridiculous.
It's a stat you will barely ever see.
Come in, shooter, Sean. Good, J-Mac. Level it. Communicate. I got it, Tom. Under. Oh, yeah.
Off the foot. Here's Kennedy with it. Holds up and in for Kennedy.
Some great offense from Kennedy. We're seeing a lot from him, especially here in the second half.
Now up to 16 points on the night for him. And they're going to call a charge. That is number 24, Gavin Biziak. And so the ball will go back to Southern Virginia. That is Biziak's third foul. Got some substitutions for the Hornets, including number 10, Matt Simmons, and number 25, Benway Bahai. The Knights now up by 9. They were up by as many as 8 points early in the first half. And then after that, Shenandoah went on a run and took a brief lead of their own. So we'll see if history repeats itself. Here's Connolly, another shot. Off the front of the rim, no good. Knocked away by Kennedy, rebounded by Connolly. Here's Kai Olsen. Knocked away by Russ. The clean takeaway. I have a feeling that Connolly might get a little bit of talking to after that last shot, because that was very much rushed. He had a defender right in his face. I understand if you're feeling hot. And they're going to call a foul on Connolly as Bahai was going up with the shot.
Yeah, no, I think you're right, though. You know, there's a time when you're hot and you get confident. You know, sometimes you play that just a little too long and you start rushing and hurrying, and it starts messing with everything you're doing. It starts messing with your team a little bit, too. But, you know, they still have a 9-point cushion, so hopefully they're able to hold on. They're doing a great job either way.
They absolutely are. Again, the offense is flowing. They're doing a great job of forcing turnovers in this second half, which we mentioned early in the first half wasn't something that either team was doing. Turnovers were very much limited throughout the first half. I believe at one point it was only 3 turnovers apiece for each team. Since then, now Shenandoah has 8 total turnovers and the Knights have 7. So still pretty low numbers for early on in the season. Early in the season, you expect to see a lot of sloppy passes. You expect to see a lot of miscommunication and lack of execution on the offensive side, but you've seen none of that so far tonight.
Absolutely. You know, I think this is actually the biggest lead that we've seen all game because it's been so neck and neck the entire time, you know, going both ways.
Absolutely. I mean, like I mentioned before, Knights had an 8-point lead early in the first half. Now they have a 9-point lead, so I think you are right in saying that this is the largest lead that either team has had in this matchup so far today. We'll see if the Knights can hold on to it. But of course, challenging that will be number 25, Benui Bahai, with some free throw attempts. That last foul was Connolly's second foul. 3rd team foul of the half. Here's the first free throw. Up and rattles in.
It's a violation.
Here's the second free throw for Bahai. And the second free throw is good.
12.
And coaches on the Knights side are wanting a lane violation called on Bahai, as each time before the ball hits the rim, Bahai stepped over the free throw line, which I have to agree with him there. Kicks it up. Here's Jex for 3. Up, no good. And that is rebounded by Roberts. Here's Russ. Some good ball movement from the Hornets. Kick out to Rogers. Up, and that is good for Roberts.
You know, in a game like this, you can't get comfortable with any type of lead. It doesn't matter how big it is, you know. You really gotta keep it down and play hard the entire way.
I mean, it's the same thing that happened in the first half, right? The Knights get a sort of substantial lead, and then the Hornets are able to come back. Here's Ibsen with the alley-oop pass. No good, rebounded by Bahai. Knights now lead by 4. Kick out to the corner. 5 seconds on the shot clock. The shot is up. No good. Rebounded by Olsen. Here's Kennedy going up, strong with the right hand. That rattles up and in. Kennedy now with 18 points. Here's Russ from 3. That's going to bank in and one. Foul on Connolly. I mean, that's the second time that a three-pointer from Landon Russ has banked in.
Yeah, it goes back to what we said the first time when that happened. You know, some of this game is luck, you know, as much as it is skill. Some of it is luck, and I think that was kind of what happened right there, especially with the and one. Impressive play nonetheless, but.
I mean, with Connolly in your face, I mean, Connolly standing at 6'7", and you make a bank shot from 3, that's quite an impressive play, regardless of how you look at it. So now Russ has a chance to bring it back within 2 points. Landon Russ with 16 points in this game, pending this free throw. Free throws up. now with 17 points. And checking in for Shenandoah is number 10, Matt Simmons.
You know, these free throws for Shenandoah has been a big part of their game. You know, they have 12 points from the line, you know, and that's almost a quarter of their points overall. So it's a big deal for them whenever they get fouled, because that's an opportunity for them to score, and they've been taking those chances.
They absolutely have, for certain. As the Knights playing some great defense on Kennedy. The Hornets have number 1, Malik Jordan, trying to limit Kennedy's touches. Baker trying to drive the lane. They're going to say that it slipped out of Baker's hands and went out of bounds. Now Hornets down by 2. Jordan working on Kennedy, the fadeaway. That's up and in, ties it up at 55. Here's Baker with it. They're going to call the foul on Simmons as Baker was trying to drive the lane. Checking back in for the Knights is number 55, Tyler Karchner, the 6'8" sophomore from Draper, Utah.
You know, when Karchner comes off the bench, you know, he comes right in the game, starts going hard from the beginning. So we'll definitely see if there's any changes for SVU right here in terms of how they play.
Absolutely. Again, in the first half, Karchner came in and added some quick points and great passing. Shot clock winding down. They're going to say the travel on Baker. His foot did slip as he was trying to plant that pivot foot for the spin move.
12-5. Who's got middle?
So again, we're seeing what happened in the first half repeat itself in the second. The Knights go on a run. They build up a lot of confidence. Then Shenandoah changes things up. Going to call a block on Sean Kennedy. And then similar with the first half, the Hornets have a chance to take a lead. Checking back into the game for the Knights is number 3, Jamarcus Robertson, the freshman from Tampa, Florida. He'll come in for Baker.
You know, both teams are trying really hard to draw a charge, but, you know, I don't think the refs are going to call it. And in a game like this, you can't risk that. You just got to play hard defense and go out there and attack.
But at the same time, we've talked about the fact that, you know, foul's been a huge part of this game, getting to the free throw line. They're going to call a travel on Bahai. And checking in for the Hornets is number 31, Kendrick Robinson. So I think both teams are trying to do what we've been talking about, you know, trying to be aggressive, get to the free throw line. Because, again, in the first half, both teams got into double bonus. And so if you can get there first in this second half in a tight contest, that can make all the difference.
Absolutely.
And so with that, just under 12 minutes left to go in this second half. It's a tie ball game, 55 points apiece. Right now, the Knights are shooting at a 55.3% from the field, and the Hornets are shooting 51.4%. And both teams shooting very well from 3, with Southern Virginia shooting 60%, and Shenandoah shooting 46.7%. Both percentages are fantastic when it comes to the three-point line. I mean, just absolutely phenomenal. You can't get much better than that. Free throws, though, a little less to be desired. You know, we're talking about Southern Virginia with 58.3 from the free throw line, and Shenandoah 66.7. Both places that both coaches are going to look at the stat sheet after this game, and they're going to think to themselves, I know what we're working on in practice this week. I know exactly what drills we're going to run. I know exactly how many free throws we're going to shoot, and if you don't make them, we're running laps.
I think you got it right there.
And so the Hornets will have the ball after the, excuse me, it's going to be night ball. Southern Virginia have it, and the Hornets will be playing a full court press. Knights doing a great job being patient. And they break the press. Kennedy driving the lane. Up with the left hand, and it somehow finds its way in the basket.
That's a great layup, great driving.
Moving the ball in midair, the concentration. Taken away by Ibsen. Puts it up, no good. Goes back to the Hornets. It was a contested layup.
I think he was looking to draw the foul right there. No one touched him. I think, you know, as a player, when you drive in, you expect a foul and you don't get one. It'll really screw up that execution.
It absolutely will. J-Mac playing to play defense on the baseline. Here's the corner. Air ball. And rebounded by Robertson. Here's Jex to Karchner. They're going to call the foul on the shot. I think even a Hornet defender may have grabbed the rim. But they're going to call the foul on Matt Simmons, the sophomore from New Paltz, New York. So Karchner will go to the free throw line. First free throw is up and no good for Karchner. Sam Jex will be subbed out in favor of Abe Connolly. Connolly has 7 points in this game. Karchner with that free throw is now 2 of 4. And coming in for the Hornets is number 24, Gavin Biziak, in favor of number 25, Binwi Bahai. The Knights now have a 3-point lead. And I love the scene we had just a moment ago after that missed layup from Dane Ibsen. He came over and Coach Warrenberg gave him a hug and kind of told him,
yeah,
like, hey, like, it's all right, let's keep going.
Yeah, it's great to see that kind of support for the team. Absolutely.
Here's Kennedy with it. Carrots to the corner for Ibsen. Shot is up and in for Ibsen. Ibsen gets up to 6 points in today's game. He is 2 for 2 from the three-point line. Here's the shot. Up, no good. Rebounded by Connolly. It's like you said, Rock, you know, within the last 10 minutes, it's really a gut check right now. Who can maintain the high level of energy and physicality? Shot up. Kennedy, no good. Rebounded by Simmons.
Absolutely. I think you're right. And right now, SVU's just pulling it together.
That shot up and in for Roberts. Kennedy's lucky he didn't get a foul called him as he got caught jumping on the pump fake. So now it's a 2-point game. Here's Karchner inside. And he put it up and in. He thought about dunking it.
Yeah, I thought we were going to see one.
But he realized at the end, I'm not quite high enough for this. Let's get the easy points.
It's funny, the crowd started standing up. I think they thought he was going to dunk it too.
Oh, they absolutely did. And with the tough basket is Roberts. Karchner will be called for the foul. That is Karchner's second foul. And coming in for him will be Kai Olsen. Olsen has 10 points in this game. Now Roberts will try to bring it within 1 point. And with that free throw, Roberts now has 15 points in today's game. He, along with Landon Russ, are in double-digit scoring. That pass tap. Olsen tries dribbling in. Tries to save from going out of bounds. Ball will go back to the Hornets.
Shenandoah's really locking down on defense, you know, forcing turnovers and getting what they need.
Absolutely. Again, turnovers are something that we didn't see a whole lot of in the first half. Now there's 10 total turnovers for either side. The Knights playing a half-court press.
It's the weave.
Here's the three. Up, no good. Olsen recovers it. Just pass inside to Kennedy. And it's taken away by the Hornets. They got numbers. Blocked by Connolly. What a block. It was 1-on-3 and he stood his ground. And a foul as Kennedy was going up. What a block from Connolly. Talk about a block when you need it most. You're up by 1. Fast break situation. The Hornets had numbers, 3 against 1. And Connolly, my goodness.
You know, it's one thing to read it, it's another thing to execute it, like we were saying earlier in the game. Wow, that was a big deal.
A huge play that, at the end of this one, as tight as it has been, could be a defining moment of this game. Again, I don't know if some people maybe who haven't played basketball are watching this and don't quite understand how great of a defensive play that is. He's going to get a lot of pats on the back for that one from this coaching staff. I mean,
I'm sure he's going to hear about that in class.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, people who watch this stream, or people who are either here in the gym, I mean, that's a block. I said it, and I'll say it again. It's a block when you need it most, and he came through. And so now, with just over 7.5 minutes left to go in this second half, you got to make sure, 1, you don't commit any dumb fouls. 2, don't commit any dumb turnovers. Make every clean pass that you can and execute your offense. And 3, rebound, rebound, rebound. We said it before and we'll say it again, rebounding so far for the Knights has favored them with a score of 26-17 for the Knights. And so if you can continue to rebound and force missed shots, play tough defense, there's no reason why you shouldn't come out of this with a win.
Yeah, you know, if you can make a half-court shot, that's cool. If you can dribble the ball and do some fancy moves, that's pretty cool. But ultimately, you know, it does come down to fundamentals, like you were saying, rebounds, passes, turnovers, all that stuff. You have to keep it in check. You really do, to be able to take the lead, keep the lead, and win the game.
And Kennedy will go up and shoot some free throws. This is Kennedy's first free throw attempt of the afternoon. Free throws up and no good. Needs to make this one in order to extend it to a 2-point lead. Second free throw up and in. Brings Kennedy to a total of 21 points in today's game. The first player in the 20s in scoring. Here's Bahai. Robertson takes it away. Up with the right hand, no good. Trying to tip it in was Ibsen. Tries to get it to Connolly. Taken back by the Hornets. Huge missed opportunity there for Southern Virginia. Blocked by Connolly again.
Really coming in the clutch on defense for sure.
I mean, Connolly's length just offers him so much advantages. Outside shot from Olsen. Off the back rim, no good. I mean, Olsen has 10 points in today's game, but outside shooting hasn't been kind to him today. Here's Bahai from the outside. Rebounded by Robertson. Ibsen barely able to get a hold of that one. Olsen missed a wide open Kennedy in the corner. Here's Robertson. No foul called somehow. Ibsen able to get it back. They reset it with Kennedy up top. Olsen up and in to beat the shot clock. Timeout for Southern Virginia. There was a little bit of confusion there as they were saying that that shot had hit the rim, and so the shot clock should have restarted. And I think they may be right, but regardless, Olsen able to recover from being underneath the basket and up and in with the points.
Yeah, it really came in the clutch right there. Everybody's happy to see it.
Now Olsen up to 12 points in today's game. The Knights now with a 4-point lead. And again, we talked about in the first half how clean the game seemed to be. The second half, it's gotten a bit more messy. Some fast break opportunities that were squandered on both sides, either not making layups or committing fouls or something else that occurs. So it's been a little more messy just because, again, fatigue's going to set in. You're going to lose a little bit of concentration. But so far, again, it's still been a fantastic game to watch. I mean, I told you before the game, Rock, that I missed basketball so much. There's just an air about basketball. You have the band in the gym. You have all the people in the stands. You have the exciting plays, the fast breaks, the well-executed passing offenses, and great steals and takeaways. Nothing like it.
Oh, there's certainly something about it, you know, and I remember just being a little kid going to basketball games in the NBA, you know, and it's really not even about the game sometimes. It's about the experience, you know, and that energy that you feel when you step inside the stadium. And, you know, and you can feel it tonight, especially when it is a good game. It's something wonderful. It's something beautiful to see.
Absolutely. And another thing that is beautiful to see is a awesome drink from Straws Drinks and Eats, the sponsor for today's game. We thank you so much for your support. If you're in Buena Vista, Virginia or near Buena Vista, Virginia, and you want a good, nice flavored soda, be sure to go check out Straws Drinks and Eats. They got plenty of other treats as well. Not a bad transition, if I don't say so myself. All right, the Knights now need a stop, now leading by 4, whereas the Hornets, they need something big here. We haven't seen anything from Landon Russ in quite a while. Russ, their leader in scoring with 17 points. They're trying to set him up in the corner. Here's Long, the mid-range jumper, no good. Looks like it's batted out of bounds by the Hornets.
You know, every possession counts in this game. You know, any call that the refs are going to make, someone's going to be unhappy and the other one's going to be happy. We're going to be seeing that a lot, especially here in these last few minutes.
Absolutely. In a game this close, every single moment is precious and therefore will be judged with a lot of scrutiny. Baker was wide open underneath the basket. The pass from Kennedy just a little bit off, forces it to go out of bounds. Turnover for the Knights. The Hornets trying to save some time and roll the ball in bounds. Here's Jordan from the top of the key. Up, no good. It's going to go out of bounds on the Hornets. I believe it came off the hands of number 10, Matt Simmons. Checking in for the game, number 32, Dane Ibsen, checking in for the Knights. Batted away and taken away by the Hornets. Also taken away by Southern Virginia. Connolly grabs it. Here's Koa Baker going up with left hand. No good, too strong. And then a call the foul on Connolly as it's up and in for Davion Roberts. That's Connolly's 4th foul of the game. Ibsen will check in for J. Mac Robertson. And shooting the and one will be Davion Roberts. Roberts now with 17 points in the game, ties Landon Russ as leader in scoring. Free throw up and in, brings it within 1 point.
No cushion here, it's all paper thin.
Kai Olsen dribbling in the lane, loses it, goes back to Shenandoah. Here's Russ for three on the fast break. No good. And it's going to go out of bounds on the Knights. And like I mentioned before, we haven't seen a whole lot from Landon Russ in this second half. He definitely tried to force it on that one.
Oh, absolutely. You know, and it comes back to what we said earlier about rushing and hurrying plays. It doesn't work. You got to take your time. You got to make quality plays. You know, you can take 1,000 shots and miss all of them if it's not a good shot.
Here's Russ. The shot up, and that is good for Kendrick Robinson, and the Hornets take the lead. Here's Ibsen for three. Off the back of the rim. Batted away by Connolly to preserve the possession. And that is batted out of bounds by Robinson. Checking into the game for the Hornets is number 25, Benui Bahai, and we have a media timeout here at Knight Arena. So one thing that I've noticed in the last few minutes of this half is the fact that the Hornets have done a great job at disrupting the passing lanes, doing a great job of just causing a lot of chaos for the Knights offensively to where they can't get a clean look going. Even if they have someone wide open, the Hornets doing a great job of keeping their hands up, staying in those lanes, and just making life difficult for Sean Kennedy and the Knights.
Oh, yeah. You know, I've seen it in college, NBA. I've seen it in, high school where you don't have to come close to blocking the ball, but if you can block their sight and just make it so they can't see the rim, it makes it a lot harder to shoot and make the shot.
Absolutely, as well, just make the quality passes they need to make in order to get players into position to make shots. You know, it's about looking big, right? Every single coach in America, whether it's college, NBA, high school, Little League even, they will tell you, look big, keep your hands up. If you keep your hands up, it's going to cause people passing the ball to not be confident in where they're going to go with it. And so it causes some plays to not go as they want it to. And so the Knights with the ball underneath the basket, they need a big play here, down by one. They need a play to build up some momentum. As right now, a lot of the momentum rests with the Hornets. Inbounding it is Baker. Here's Kennedy with it. Here's Olsen. Up, no good. He's really struggled shooting today. Three and a half minutes to go. Rebounded by Olsen. Here's Kennedy, wide open lane. Up, no good. Rebounded by the Hornets.
You know, Shenandoah, I think, is a lot more confident after taking that lead. It's a nice breath of fresh air for them. But they're definitely still playing with the same intensity they were before.
They're trying to hold onto the ball as long as they can. And they call a charge on Bahai. Olsen did a great job of setting his feet.
I think that's the first charge we've seen the entire game.
Indeed, I think you were right. Most of the other ones have been called blocks. But that's another play. You talk about rebounding, something that coaches love. Another play that coaches love to see, you taking a charge.
Absolutely.
Putting your body on the floor, sacrificing your body for the sake of the team. A coach will take that any day of the week.
You're literally taking one for the team.
In the most literal sense that you could. Knights down by one. They need a good possession here. Here's Conley for three. Off the back of the rim. Olsen for rebound. Here's Kennedy for three. That's no good. Rebounded by the Hornets. Shooting getting a little cold for the Knights.
they're 2 for 6 from the three-point line this half.
SVU travel. Davion Roberts is the guilty party.
Some big calls being made here. You know, a couple turnovers from Shenandoah might just cost them the lead.
I think 2 refs blew the whistle there. I think one blew the whistle for the travel, and after the travel happened, the other ref blew his whistle for a foul that would have happened after the travel occurred.
Oh my goodness.
So the Knights, very fortunately, getting away with one there. Here's Olsen driving the lane, up a crazy shot, tips it, no good. Rebounded by Olsen again, puts it up and in with the foul. Again, we talk about Olsen. He's been frustrated in today's game, not making as many shots as he thinks that he should, and he stayed with that play. He missed the first shot. It was a little bit of a crazy shot that you don't really like to see as a coach, but then he stayed with it, got the rebound, put it back in with the contact.
Yeah, you know, we were talking about how Ko is an intense player, you know, and he goes for every ball he can, and he doesn't give up, and that's exactly what we just saw from Malachi Olsen.
So here's the free throw attempt to extend the lead. Up, no good. Again, free throws have been a struggle for the Knights tonight. Here's a shot in the corner. That is up and in for Richard Rogers. Timeout for Shenandoah. Rogers with the clutch 3 to take the 2-point lead with just over a minute remaining. And, you know, we talk about different players stepping up. A player that we've seen come in some clutch moments, I mean, we haven't seen a whole lot of him, has been Richard Rogers. In the first half, he came in, made a couple of big plays during the stretch where the Hornets had a lead. And then now, with just a little bit of time left, he comes in, makes a big shot for Shenandoah.
Yeah, you know, I think a lot of these players aren't nervous. They're good enough to the point where they know that they're good. And, you know, each player wants the ball. They want to take the last shot. They want to be the hero. You know, I think that's very important. That's an important mentality, you know, to be able to want to make that last play, make the difference.
Absolutely, and the fact that we've talked about Shenandoah's depth of their roster and all the different players that can step up and make that play for them, that paying big dividends here in the final minutes. A player neglected to check in for Shenandoah, and that is number 23, Marcus Taylor, the senior from Gainesville, Virginia. Looks like he won't be checking in. Here's the Knights. If the Knights want to win this game, they need something here. They need to drop their best play, get the ball in the hands of their best players. Here's Olsen. No good. Here's Connolly. Able to keep it alive for the Knights. Here's Kennedy with the shot. Up, no good. Rebound by Cole Baker. Up and in! In midair, gets the rebound and puts it back up and ties it at 70.
Split even.
Now 40 seconds left. The Hornets are going to hold it to the last possible second. They have 16 seconds left in the shot clock. Five seconds on the shot clock. Here's Bahai. No good. Rebound by the Hornets. They have a second chance at this. And Sean Kennedy fouls him at around half court.
Can't be fouling in this situation. Now, we said earlier, a lot of their points come from free throws, so this is a big deal, man. They've been doing this all game. They've been making them all game, shooting about 70% from the line.
And Roberts has made every single free throw that he has shot. He is 5 for 5. I think Kennedy kind of the mentality of if you're down in the last few seconds, you foul, try to get the rebound and get the ball back.
But if there's someone you don't want to foul, it's this guy right here.
Free throw up and no good. Timeout Southern Virginia.
That's the first one he's missed of the game.
If you're Sean Kennedy right now, you're breathing a huge sigh of relief.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he probably doesn't know the statistics for Roberts being 5 for 5 up to that point from the free throw line. But if he did, he's thinking to himself, I got away with one there.
You know, we were talking about being a hero and making that last shot earlier, but it's just as dangerous to do the opposite. You know, you could be the person that screws it up for the team, and I think he kind of had that feeling right there. We see him kind of put his head down and, get on his knees. He was kind of upset, but you're absolutely right, about taking that deep breath and sigh of relief. I think the whole team is now that they have the ball with about 7 seconds left,
And so now, if you're Southern Virginia, you don't need a three. You just need any basket or to get a foul and get to the free throw line. So, honestly, if you're looking at the floor, it's covered in players that can make a play. We got Olsen, who has struggled at times but can make a play when he needs to. Connolly, who's made several threes. Ibsen, who's made a couple of threes. You have Kennedy, who leads the team in scoring with 21 points. And Koa Baker, who's made the hustle plays and made the rebound basket a little bit ago. Here's Baker. They're going to call a charge on Baker. And indeed, they were trying to get Baker to the free throw line. So now the ball goes back to the Hornets. Fortunately for them, they're not in the bonus.
Timeout called.
So just under 2.5 seconds left to go. I mean, unless something crazy happens, which it's basketball, so anything can happen, it looks like we'll be going into extra minutes in this one here at Southern Virginia. But I like the idea there. Again, you're not trying to set up some crazy three-point shot. You're trying to drive the lane. And Koa Baker, he's a consistent free throw shooter, and he's able to drive the lane, really get some contact, draw that foul. Unfortunately for him, of course, the defender had his feet set and was outside, the circle. So you got to, at that point, that's a tough call. That's a tough call.
Absolutely. It was a great idea. He tried to make it happen. It was just a good reaction on the defense to, set that feet and draw that charge foul.
So now if you're Southern Virginia, you just got to lock it down. You're obviously going to do a full court press, but nothing silly behind you. Keep everybody in front of you. Watch out for Rogers in the deep corner here on Shenandoah's side. They're going to probably try to get it down to him. Here's a full court shot. Of course, with a low ceiling, that's kind of difficult here to do in the barn. And so we will go into extra minutes here at Knight Arena. I mean, you're talking about a home opener. I mean,
this is a good one.
Talk about a way to start off your home regular season. I mean, a great back and forth matchup. It has been some great highlight plays. Players all over the board. I mean, a lot of times in basketball games, you look at one player has made the difference for one team. Like, for instance, you look in the NBA, like, oh, James Harden scored 50 points again, or Kevin Durant scored 35 or 50 points again. But today it's been all across the board for both sides of the floor. I mean, Sean Kennedy, of course, being the highlight for Southern Virginia with 21 points, followed by Olsen with 14, and a couple of the players chiming in with, Karchner with 8 points. They have Connolly with 7, and Baker with 7. And Shenandoah, similar thing. You have Roberts with 18 points. You have Russ with 17. You have Simmons with 10. And then Russ with 9 and Jordan with 8. And so it's been spread around, players stepping up at different points in the game. And that's the kind of exciting game you love to see at any level.
Absolutely. If we look at the field goal percentage from the first half compared to the one in the second half, they're shooting about 20% higher in the first half than they are in the second half. There's a crazy statistic to think about. So we'll see what happens in overtime. I think everybody's kind of getting tired, but they all want to win. So, what's pushing the winning factor more? who's the team that's really going to take it all because they have that drive? We're about to find out.
Absolutely. Who's going to make the hustle plays that are necessary to win a close contest like this? And so overtime will be 5 minutes. Of course, that's taking into account a possibility of no second overtime, which the Knights have already done that so far this year. And their double overtime victory over Thiel just last week. And the Hornets will start off with the ball in these extra minutes. The shot clock had not started. We've already had some technical issues with the shot clock earlier in the game.
You know, we have all this new equipment here at SVU in Buena Vista, and, you know, it takes some learning to be able to work it properly, I think. So, we're probably going to see a few more problems throughout the season.
But, of course, the athletic department doing a great job at setting up these events for Southern Virginia, and they're going to take 10 seconds off the shot clock, as that's what the refs decided was appropriate. A shot from the outside. Up, no good. Somehow put back up and in by Roberts. So the Hornets will be the first to strike in these extra minutes. Here's Kennedy driving the lane. Up, rattles out, rebounded by Baker, and he's fouled on the way up. And he's probably thinking to himself, finally a foul call that's called my way. They're going to call that one on Landon Russ. That's his second foul.
Koa Baker has been all over the place getting all these rebounds.
First free throws up and in. That's exactly what they tried to do at the end of regulation. Again, getting him down the floor to the free throw line as he makes his first one. Second shot, up and in, and ties it up at 72. Ibsen playing some press. Here's Russ for three. No good, rebounded by Kennedy. Russ had a lot of breathing room. Kennedy comes up with the right hand, up and in.
We've been seeing him make those drives all day. You know, he's got that finger touch for sure.
That brings him to 23 points in today's contest. Russ dribbles in, kicks out. Passes out of the shot. Here's Malik Jordan. Jump shot is good. The Knights done a great job at really limiting Jordan's touches today, as he's the leading scorer for the Hornets going into today's game, but not gotten a whole lot of opportunities thanks to this Knights defense. Here's Ibsen for three. That's up and in! That ball hangs in the air forever when it's shot by Ibsen, but boy is it pretty when it comes down. Here's Jordan, another jump shot, no good, rebounded by Baker. Here's a fast break. And that's batted away by Baha'i, but it'll stay with the Knights. And checking in for the Hornets is number 10, Matt Simmons. And Rocky mentioned the advancements here at Knight Arena. Another thing we'd like to mention is the fact that they'll be adding in some new stands here later this week here into Knight Arena. So over the years since I've been here, so many additions have been made and so many things have been improved here. And I love this atmosphere. I love what they've been doing. Olsen, they're calling an offensive foul. They're calling it on Kai Olsen. And that is Olsen's second foul. The Knights up by 3, 2.5 minutes remaining.
Tension is high.
Great passing. Baha'i able to weave through the defenders midair. Bring it back within one.
You know, I think SVU right there is a little more worried about the perimeter because a lot of these guys on Shenandoah can take the three and make it.
Absolutely right on that one. Here's Olsen trying to back down Baha'i. Up with the right hand, up and in off the glass. Olsen now with 16 points. I mean, I mentioned the fact that Olsen was struggling early in the game, but besides the fact he still has 16 points. Rebound from Kennedy. I mean, that's a sign of a good player when you know if you're struggling shooting and you still get in double digits, you're pretty good. Kennedy trying to get it in to Olsen. Knights resetting. Shot clock winding down. Baker's got it. Attempts a three. That's too long. The shot clock went down and the ball did not touch the rim, so a shot clock violation on Southern Virginia. So the Knights still hanging on to a three-point lead with just over a minute left to go in overtime.
Can't feel too comfortable here with 3 points.
You absolutely cannot. Like you said, this Shenandoah roster has a lot of perimeter shooters. There's Russ for three. That one no good. Russ has kind of struggled from deep. Coach Warrenberg wanting the Knights to slow it down. Ten seconds left in the shot clock. Kennedy from mid-range, no good. Fought for by Baker. I believe they're going to say Baker was out of bounds. I think Coach Warrenberg was trying to call a timeout. It's now barely any difference between the shot clock and game clock. I think maybe half a second difference.
Let's see who takes the last shot. A turnover would make a big difference right now.
And no good from Roberts. Coach Warrenberg went and called a timeout, but Kennedy was fouled. That's two straight possessions that Warrenberg has tried to call a timeout, and the refs have not heard him. But regardless, Kennedy will be put to the line.
The two-possession lead right now would be a dagger. Right, that might just end the game right there.
If he makes one of these free throws, then potentially the game is over. Timeout be called by Nick Doyle, head coach of Shenandoah University. So 14.2 seconds remaining. Sean Kennedy will be put to the line.
You know, even if he does make a free throw, you know, I'd still be scared because earlier in the game we saw Shenandoah take that three and get the and one, which is like you don't see that too often. You know, if I'm on the defense, I'm paranoid about that. I'm letting them take the two, kind of give up something so I can get something back in return. You know, they take the game, you know, win the battle, or I'm sorry, lose the battle, win the war kind of a thing.
Absolutely, and Kennedy so far, he's shot 2 free throws. He's made one of them, shooting 50%. But again, like we mentioned before, he's leading both teams in scoring with 23. When it's mattered most, Kennedy's put the team on his back in key situations, either driving to the lane or shooting from the outside. And so you can imagine he's going to want to put the team on his back, make both these free throws. And again, this is the reason why you practice day in and day out your free throw shooting. It's not just because it's something for you to do while the coaches discuss. It's to get you better at these key situations when you need these free throws most. You've done it enough times to where you can make them in your sleep. So Kennedy will step up to the free throw line. Free throw is up and in for Kennedy. Now if he makes this one, makes things a lot more difficult for the Hornets. Kennedy's free throws up, rattles out. So still a chance for the Hornets if they can get an and one three-point shot. That's up and in for Malik Jordan. Turnover. That's up and in, ties it up.
SVU's defense falling apart right here.
And there's fouled. Shenandoah sideline was telling their players not to foul, but Richard Rogers is called for one. What a fortunate play for Southern Virginia.
Instead of letting him take the half-court shot, he's going to let him shoot a couple free throws. The coach is livid right now. He's talking to the refs.
So Baker will step up to the line. He has two chances. First free throw is up and in. The Knights take a 1-point lead with 1.2 seconds remaining. Coaches for Southern Virginia telling the Knights no fouls. Basically let them take a long shot. That's all they're really going to have at all, if that.
Just bang it off the rim, get the rebound, and just hold on to it. But let them take the full court shot. Less than a second left.
And so Shenandoah inbound the ball from the baseline.
The whole crowd's holding their breath right now. They can't believe it.
Well, we're trying to figure out exactly where the ball is going to be inbounded, what exactly this means. Things are very much unclear right now of what's going on. Hornets got to inbound it.
That's off.
And it's no good. The Knights come away with a 1-point victory in overtime and their home opener of the young 2022-2023 season. We got fans ripping off their shirts with the players. We got fans standing up. I tell you what, Rock, I've been commentating for 5 years and I'm breathless right now.
That was a great game. I think these fans are kind of acting how we're feeling on the inside. He's ripped off his shirt in the middle of the court.
I mean, talk about all the excitement you can expect in a basketball game at this level. Fantastic efforts from both sides. I mean, both teams giving it their all, a lot of effort put out there, and just all the plays. I mean, all these different players came in clutch at different moments, and it's the type of game you'll love to see as a fan, as either a commentator, or if you're on the court as a coach or a teammate. You just love to see these kinds of games. And well done to Southern Virginia, coming away with the 81-80 victory over the Hornets of Shenandoah University. The Knights advance to 2-1 on the season, and the Hornets fall to 1-3. On behalf of myself, Dawson Weidrich, my friend here, Rock Giles, we appreciate you participating in this amazing game with us today here on the Knights Broadcasting YouTube channel. Once again, be sure to give us a like, subscribe, all things that make YouTube work. And once again, I want to thank our sponsors, Straws, Drinks, and Eats. And if you would like to partner with SVU Athletics like Straws, Drinks, and Eats has, or promote your business on campus, please contact Brett Schroeder at brett.schroeder@svu.edu. That is SCHROEDER at svu.edu. Again, on behalf of myself, Dawson Weidrich, and Rock Giles, thank you so much. God bless, and go Knights.